What is going on, YouTube? PPS back is past the prop time. We're coming at you guys with a pretty big NBA slate for tonight. Joined as always by my guy Stu. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Normally we don't look at those Friday NBA slates much at all, right? We're normally over here grinding out football, but we have a weekend off, so we finally get to dive into the Friday slate. I know a lot of promos tend to come out on Friday. I don't know if you're on Prize Picks too much, but they have that the Prize Picks, free flex play up to $20 or whatever. So a lot of good stuff to bet on, and we actually have a surprisingly good slate today. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll definitely have some good spots here for today. I didn't even count. Usually I count, or I at least check DraftKings on how many games we have. But it was enough where I had to scroll down my screen more than once to get down there. So I think it was like eight or nine spots here. So a lot of good games, a lot of high totals. Obviously, I'm wrapping my Bucks stuff. Repping hopefully the MVP this year, Mr. Giannis coming through again for your boy. He ended up 54 and 18 last night against the Clippers, who obviously are top. I think they have them ranked. I think in the title odds right now, they're top three for shortest odds in the West. So pretty cool to see him do that on a primetime slate like that.
And knowing what it was from a deficit, they came back, right? They were down 15, 20, something.
21.
Yeah, 21 points. And the only sad part I would say is I was asleep like a lot of other people were for that game, unfortunately. So we didn't really get to catch it. But I did see the highlights, obviously, and it was a crazy comeback. I mean, the MVP race this year is going to be very, very close. Obviously, Giannis is playing like Giannis always does. We have Luka having an amazing season. And then Jokic is always right there, averaging a triple-double, I believe. So it's tough.
Yeah, another triple-double last night for him, too, against the Warriors team. Let's just give a shout out to the Warriors for being the absolute worst team ever, for not scratching someone till game starts. Right? I saw that. I had a bet on Draymond in that game, and they scratch him right at tip. How can you do that? How do you not get fined for that? That's one of my biggest pet peeves, especially if you're playing on DFS sites and stuff. How is that? That's terrible. Literally, the start of the game, he is scratched. I think at 8:50 or 7:59. For an 8 o'clock tip. You don't even have a chance. You don't even have a chance to do anything about it. So that was frustrating. But
yeah, no, I saw those underdog notifications coming in, and I was thinking absolutely not. I saw Wiggins was up in the air. Draymond was up in the air. I kind of crossed that game off mentally, to be completely honest, because I knew. I mean, it's the Warriors and the Heat. They're always the two teams that are getting real creative, I guess you could say, with those injury reports, and that's obviously not good for us bettors. So I had to cross that one off for sure.
See, at least the Heat give you 30 minutes, right? They said Draymond was off the injury report and he was playing active along with Curry. So that's what's so bad, because you already say that he's playing and then you pull it. So that was unfortunate there. But we'll get into our recap here for Wednesday's slate. Draymond was interesting. We both had two bets on Draymond. Obviously, this one he decided rebounds was the spot. Rebounds was the spot last time. Luckily, that ended up going to overtime and cashing this one for us, which I was not expecting to even come close to this one after that first quarter, where he had 8 minutes, only 2 rebounds and 1 assist. But give credit. Minnesota took away that screen that you get right off the handoff to Curry. They took it away, and Draymond ended up getting there on rebounds, luckily. So good hit on this. Good shit. We got the plus 300 from Stu taking that double-double. Obviously not the way we expected him to actually get there on points, but he ended up getting 10 points in that game too.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always that kind of shows to the value of doing this show and kind of us having the questions, everyone talking it out. Because as I'm sitting here, I'm like, wait, double-double isn't crazy at all, with the kind of skill set he had at plus 300. So definitely glad we laid the plus money right there, and it ended up saving us, making us a little bit money back after he let us down with the assists.
Yeah, and we also had the this one's going to haunt me for a while, dude. Laurie obviously comes through, easily cashes. He ended up having 4 threes. And Achua grabs only 6 rebounds. Fred VanVleet has 13 rebounds. Scotty Barnes has 12 rebounds. Come on now. Obviously, there was a few of them that I think he let him get to get the triple-double, because obviously Fred was chasing triple-double watch, and how can you predict that? All I needed was one more rebound to get that one, but super frustrating just to have him kind of giving those rebounds to Van Vliet. And Siakam fouled out, so like he wasn't even really that big of a factor in that game, which I thought was going to be the issue of getting there was going to be him. So obviously that was I wasn't expecting a triple double, or else I would have put it in the long shot.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit brutal. A lot of people got killed on Achua too. He ended up very popular by the end of the day, but that's the Raptors for you.
And our half unit one, I believe he screwed 2 times in a row.
Yeah, the score of that game in the first quarter, what was it, 45-15, I believe?
I think Derek White. We had Derek White. We had Jason Tatum all just destroying there.
It was just this had no chance from the first quarter. The game was over. So unfortunate. NBA blowouts happen sometimes, like the Reeds. We just come back today with a little bit stronger,
All right, well, let's throw that shit behind us, right? We're out of here. We're not talking about that slate anymore. I know I put special guests up on the top. I didn't tell you who it was. I'm too sneaky for that shit. I held it. We get Sammy on the show. We got him here. We're here ready to roll.
Let's go, baby. What's popping, boys?
Hey, man, we're doing pretty good over here. Betting on some NBA, hanging out, talking shit. How are you doing, man?
Hell yeah, doing great, man. Busy, late night studio session. So I was like in PPS, like, I don't know what time I'm going to get out of here, dude. But everything's great. Everything's great, in terms of NBA. If we're gonna get to it, it's like it's such an up and down for me. It's like I think I have an absolute slam lock, and then it's like, oh boy, you got slapped by 30.
Yep.
Or what I've been running into is someone will get injured in the first 3 minutes. Which sucks. I know what time it is, but then the other 3 legs of the parlay lose. So they're about bro, what do you want? But yeah, everything's good, bro. Good to see y'all.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I haven't seen you since it's probably we were on our soccer show a minute ago, man. It's been a while. So I see you. Are you repping a Brewers hat right there? Are you repping an old school crew? I see you, dude.
Yo, bro, I knew I was coming, so I had to come with them joints, bro.
Yes, I love that shit, dude. I love that. I was gonna say, I don't think many people know that's an old school Brewers one. That's like the 80s, 90s Brewers hat. That's a sick one.
No, it's a good one. I was like, the dude, he owns his place, Select Vintage down the block, and he was like, yeah, he's like, why would the Brewers just butcher their uniforms? And then I was like, oh, let me look at this. I looked it up on Google, and I was like, bro, the throwbacks are the best ever. It's like all the city joints that they're doing for the NBA and stuff. I think they did it for MLB last year too. And there were just some sick ones, the one that was Colorado Rockies that looked like a pack of Newports.
Oh yeah.
Those are fire.
The Red Sox baby blues. You guys remember those right there? The bright blue Red Sox. Ooh.
Those are for because I know a lot of people were talking smack about that, but it was to honor the Boston Strong Marathon thing. Nice. And then once people figured that out, they started selling hotcakes. It's actually a sick jersey, if you get the official.
Oh, the yellow letters on that?
Yeah.
I feel
but everything's been gravy, man. Just, wild Super Bowl coming up, which I think everyone's hammering Eagles.
Yeah.
But it's been a wild year, and NBA wise, I always think it's so tough before you get to a certain point. The Suns have been down bad, but they're playing the Z's tonight, and that line is crazy.
Yeah, they're 9-point favorites. The Celtics. I know that's your team, right? I know you're a Patriots football guy. Are you a Celtics guy? NBA?
I'm a Celtics guy through and through. And the thing I do like about the Celtics is you can tell that they have their own rapport in the locker room. There's leaders on the team. It shouldn't always be the coach, whether it was Brad or Ime, whatever, you need the players to link and fuck with each other. So, if the Suns can get off to a hot start, I think it would be a way closer game than -9. But if they start getting clapped in the Garden, it's going to be a long night for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with the Nets. We were just talking about I had Claxton the other day. I'm thinking we get a good game right here. 2 Titans of the East, and then the Celtics just absolutely destroy them. So,
dude, cranked. What they win by like 34 or something?
Yeah.
Insane.
They won the first quarter by 30. So, let alone the whole thing. It was over in the start. So, I mean, it's good and bad, right? You can't really bet on your team that much because you guys are -9 versus everybody. But I mean, your team's fucking destroying everybody, so that must feel pretty good.
I mean, what I've been doing? Like, I'm not a big parlay guy. I absolutely hate teasing NBA because I think it's just like you just never know what's going to happen. It's like you can tease the Rockets up to 19.5 and somehow they lose by 20. It's like it's insane. But like I've been throwing C's in parlays, but now I can't because it's like it's like -420 is money line tonight. It's like I'm kind of looking at the Suns to cover 9. But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of injuries on the Suns. There's some players that haven't stepped up. D-Book's finally starting to kind of get back in his rhythm somewhat. But yeah, Boston's going to be rocking tonight. Like, we don't hate Phoenix, but we love beating teams that, were in the finals in the last 3 years.
Good. Well, I will obviously Stu popped out. I know he's been having some internet issues there.
All good.
Before we get into NBA, I wanted to say give you a shout out for I think you got married, didn't you? That was recent.
Yes, sir. Popping with it.
On that.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man.
So what's your team? I know we talk about props and like guys that we like to bet on and stuff like that. Is there a team outside of your Celtics that you like to bet on that have just been kind of making you some money this year?
To be honest, like I've been like mainly focusing on like props, but I've been hammering totals under anything Lakers.
Okay.
And like even though it's like I got into it with like I think it was someone on the Lakers. I got into it with them like 2 years ago, and it went viral because like the dude played 0 minutes. I was like, bro, shut the fuck up. This ain't a team win. Like, what do you mean? Which like obviously was out of pocket, but at the same time, I've been taking a lot of unders, and then like for the teams that have just been shooting hot, like hitting overs. I think the Hornets tonight, while it's juicy, like over 118 against a Pistons team that is giving up so many points. Like it's in the first half, it's crazy. Like I might touch the first half team total for Hornets because like I think it's at 118 right now for total, and it's like they put up 122 against the Heat, and then the Heat beat the Celtics. I just think they slapped the Pistons. The only problem is if they get up mad early, it's gonna end like 105 to 74 or something like.
So you want us to put down on your play? Do you want the full game team total? Or you want the first half team total? Because I'm looking right now on DraftKings. We got the Hornets at 120 and a half points for the full game, or 61 and a half for the first half.
I'm going 61 first half. 61 and a half. Or is it 61 and a half or 61?
61 and a half, but it's almost plus money there. So I'll make sure I put that one down for you for your spot.
Perfecto.
Okay.
Let's go.
I do kind of like that game, though, because the Pistons don't play a lick of defense. They're literally rolling out without Cade. You got a lot of dudes out.
Yeah.
And I know as much as I hype up Bojan Bogdanovic, that man can't play a lick of defense either. I love him. He's a sniper, but he doesn't do shit else on the other side. So I do love this spot. I think that obviously coming off the game last night, I think LaMelo tries in triple doubles here after getting tossed late in last game.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good look because like he's gonna want to ball out, like especially I mean, once you get the classic, you're just ready to just hit the court, So like I was looking at that one yesterday. I think I locked it in for the full game before the line moved, and it was like my 118.5 team total.
Nice.
But like, yeah, this Pistons team just doesn't. They have no communication in the paint. There's always dudes absolutely raking up threes. Gordon Hayward, while he's been, a little sus, he's trying to get his feel back. If this dude starts shooting, they're going to absolutely beast them.
Yeah.
I forget Hayward exists. I mean,
he was on Boston for like 4 years, and then literally the first play of the fucking game, he breaks his leg or ankle or something. And it was like, oh, man, it's like everybody, even if you have a bad non-HD TV, that thing is snapped. Like, his joint was like this. We were like, oh, great. What an awesome trade acquisition by Boston.
Yeah, that was one where they had to roll like fucking 30 minutes of commercials. The whole world.
Yeah, dude.
Like Paul George. That was like the Paul George Indiana one. All right, we got first play in. Sammy's bringing us the Hornets first half team total as a first play of the show. Stu, give me that first spot here at a half unit spot. Talk about the Lakers. Halliburton, first game back, absolutely torched the Lakers there.
Yeah, he cooked.
No. I love Halliburton, man. This guy's got such a good game. First time All-Star now, so he's coming in with a little bit of respect, right? I mean, there's definitely a reason to want to show out in that kind of game.
Put some respect on his name, baby.
Exactly. I know the number one thing people are going to say, too, is it's a back-to-back, right? He just played yesterday.
Right.
He's coming back from an injury. But if you look at his season stats on back-to-backs, he's hit this number in every single back-to-back he's played so far this season, averaging around 24 points per game in those situations. So he's one of those guys we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. When the shot's fallen, when he's feeling good, when he sees it go through the net, I just want him to keep shooting. Obviously, like you said, he's coming in after a phenomenal game. Some people were worried, how he's going to adjust after not playing for a couple weeks. But he's practiced like all week long. He's been perfectly cleared. He looks healthy. He looked fine in that last game. I'm going to trust him to keep coming right back out here. And now, I didn't even mention it. It's a fucking revenge game. He's got the Kings right here. The team that he thought he was going to retire a King. I mean, the guy, I'm pretty sure he was crying when he got traded. He loves the city. I know he's going to want to show out against his former team. He's playing well right now. I think Halliburton has a great game. These are two of the worst defenses in basketball, too. So there's a 235 total for a reason right here.
Yeah, that's a big total. I mean, it's crazy because like there's a few teams that play such bad defense, but they're so bad at shooting that these numbers are so high that it's like, yo, I'm checking at halftime and it's like, dude scored 45 points. I'm cooked.
Yeah.
But I feel you. Like, I think a lot of the like ways that I cap games, whether it's like football, soccer, NBA, it's like there's so many write-ups about why this dude's not about to do something, and it's like it's a perfect spot to absolutely hammer that.
Yeah, no, we always love the narratives. We always like going to those narrative spots for sure. And obviously Halliburton's a Wisco kid, so I'm always down to back him. Before we go to my first play, anybody see Pat Bev chirping Halliburton after their last game? Did anybody see that interview that he had on his he had that thing on his TikTok or whatever? And he posted like Halliburton obviously does the JJ Redick show a lot, and he went over on there
the podcast.
And he talked about it, and he's like, yeah, Pat Bev was chirping me after he didn't guard me the whole game. He guarded Buddy Hield, and Buddy Hield we know is probably one of the streakiest shooters in the NBA. Buddy Hield ended up with like 4 points in that game. And then I guess Halliburton was getting chirped by Pat Bev. He's like, you're lucky I didn't guard you. And then last night he puts up 26 and 12 on his ass and just puts Pat Bev. And I'm like, dude, that's karma, man. Why you got to talk that shit to an all-star like that?
I mean, to be honest, Pat Bev was like, yo, ref.
Dude, he brings the camera out. He's got everything.
Like, yo, the camera was hilarious, but it's also like if if you're gonna do something like that, right? And obviously you're gonna get teed up for it. Like, at least win the game, bro. Like, it would have been such a more viral thing if obviously it's an incredible picture because he literally has some like Sony like 5D joint or like 7D joint. And he's like, you see this? And like, it's a great photo, but it's the classic Pat Bev. He talks a lot of shit. And it's like, bro, but besides Russ going like 2 for 9,000 last night or the night before, it's like, bro, you're not adding much. Like,
yeah, no, he's getting a lot of Eli Apple comparisons after those last.
Oh
games.
boy, yeah, that was a tough one for Eli. It's like, yeah, well, now you're on your way to Cancun, pal. So have a good one.
All right, so we talked about a little bit of Lakers. I'm going to go to an old Laker. I'm going to a former Laker here for my first spot tonight. Close to plus money. I'm going to D'Angelo Russell, points, assists, facing off against Orlando tonight. Obviously, we saw Gobert out of last game, but we also saw the emergence of when teams start attacking Anthony Edwards defensively, right? They throw 1 or 2 guys at him, and D'Angelo Russell stepped up to the plate. He had 29 points against the Warriors, and he got this number on pure points. He has the upside for obviously getting double-doubles. That might be a long shot that makes his way to my card today, maybe finding that double-double spot. But we look at D'Angelo Russell averaging over 10 potential assists over his last 15 games. I think he's going to take a nice step forward here. I don't know how I don't know what's going to be happening with Rudy Gobert today, but even if he's in, I like the assist prop. I like how Orlando bleeds assists to guards. Looking at their numbers on the season, they're allowing the 7th most assists overall so far this year, and they really, really struggle against the 3 ball. They're the 3rd worst in terms of 3-pointers made so far this year. And D'Angelo Russell's just chucking them from back there, right? If he kicks it down, you kick it back out. 7 for 17. He attempted 17 threes. That's like me going to the YMCA, bro. I ain't dribbling in the paint. I ain't going in the paint. I'm sitting on the corner, and you give me the ball, and I'm shooting it there, right? D'Angelo Russell's last game, he shot 23 shots. 17 of them were threes. If that's the case here, we're going to see a lot of open looks for D'Lo. Obviously, He's been crushing this number. He's been crushing the points aspect. He had 25 2 games before. We're seeing 37 to 40 minutes in these matchups. I love D'Angelo Russell today. I'm taking him against the Magic, a nice 230 total and only a 4.5-point spread. I think we're going to get a nice close game, and I hope D'Lo continues that hot shooting from beyond the arc.
Yeah, I feel that. I like that one a lot, to be honest.
And I mean, too, like you said, the Magic, you said they're 3rd or 4th in threes allowed, something like that so far this season. I mean, they've got like 5-7 foot tall guys that all just sit in the paint, right? When you look at their roster, they've been playing like Bol at like shooting forward so far this season. They've got Carter Jr., they've got Paolo all down there protecting the paint. That's naturally just going to lead to more of those outside shots. And like you said, man, D'Lo's chucking right now. He's feeling himself. He's looking in that mirror and saying, I'm that guy. And hey, if teams are going to triple team Anthony Edwards every single game, then you might as well just let D'Lo go out there and shoot the ball, 25 times. So I definitely like this look right here.
Yeah, 100%. I like that. I like that one too. It's like, it's interesting too, because like the NBA before playoffs, it's like, you have games where it's like, all right, I'm definitely taking whoever against, the Rockets, and then the Rockets have an absolute lights out night. So like, who knows what like D'Angelo, whatever team he's been on, when he gets in that zone, he is wet, bro.
Yeah, dude, we love the volume. That's what we love betting on here. And before we get to our second round of plays, we'll take a look at the chat here. We got a few of you guys in here. I see some Celtics banter coming up in the chat. I'm thinking that's attacking more Sammy, because obviously as a Bucks fan, we hope the Bucks win the title this year. But that's beyond this. We got Giannis MVP. We love to see that. Jay, welcome. Terrence, welcome in the chat here. We got that lid love there. Yeah, we're both repping the 90s Milwaukee teams here. Like, this is the 90s Bucks hat, so I always love to rep the old school ones out here. We got a question here in the chat. Stu, if you want to take this one at all. Obviously, he's talking about one of your boys there.
Yeah, no, I see. I mean, Anthony Edwards' rebounds has been real consistent, but my guy Beal, what I'll say, if anyone that watches the Wizards a lot, Beal has really not looked like himself since coming back from this injury. I think
Facts.
yeah, he's kind of just. I think he's playing it safe until we get to the All-Star break, and I expect him to come back fully healthy. But what we've actually seen in this time when he's not as healthy is he's kind of chucking threes, right? I believe he was like top 10 in drives per game at the start of the year. He was getting to the rim. We're seeing him kind of, I think it might be the ankle hamstring area. I think he's just a little bit less likely to drive right now. So he is chucking more threes. So I actually do like that spot just because of his recent play style.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, Porzingis taking a nice little step up. Him and Kuzma definitely taking a little bit more of the number 1A, 1B role there. Beal's kind of taking that back seat, kind of more of a spot up shooter right now, which honestly might work better, honestly, to keep him off from getting injured again. We got Jacob in the chat bringing up. I don't even know how to say that. I think you know how to say that, Sammy.
Picayune, baby. That's where my wife's from. Let's go, Jacob. What's popping, dog?
Love that. I was gonna absolutely butcher that name. So I was like, I'll just let you take that. I ain't even gonna try this morning.
I mean, literally, like one of my best friends, like he'd never been down to New Orleans. So like when we were getting married, you know, it's like in this place called where we got married. It's called Carrier. She's gonna kill me if I don't say it right. But my boy's like dying laughing. He's like, we going to Picayune? And I was like, bro, like, there ain't no L in this shit, bro. Picayune? But yeah, shout out Picayune, bro. Jacob, you already know what time it is with Betty Case. That's the most lit. Go get that chili bun, run it up if you ever in Picayune.
Honestly, I don't even know like what state that's in, so I'm just gonna let you roll with that. But
Mississippi, baby.
Oh, you're down there. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit of a hike from Wisconsin up here in our minus 10-degree weather here this morning. So,
minus 10.
Yeah. Oh, minus 10 by you?
It's not bad here. It's like, yeah, it's 23. Feels like 10, so it's not great.
Yeah, no, we had minus 24 wind chill yesterday. It's been brutal up here. Sammy, we're up to you again. You got another team you're looking at today? Maybe another total, maybe an underdog today. What do you? Is there another spot on that's catching your eye today? A team that you want to back on this pretty big NBA slate here?
So I'm on the fence right now, like about the Hawks, because the Hawks have had some great wins. They're playing the Jazz. The Jazz are not playing good defense right now, hands down. Like what I'm really looking at is Dejounte Murray, I think over 21 PRA. It's like I think it's minus 120 on FanDuel or minus 125 on DK. But like the Jazz, you know, they're great at covering the three. But like Kelly Olynyk coming back in, it's a way different story than Kessel. Like that's going to weaken their defense. Mm-hmm. So personally, I like Dejounte's just been going off. Like he put up 40 against the Blazers. Like he went insane. So I think, if they're not, if like Trey and Capella, Trey and dudes aren't cooking on that side, I think he just has a game. And 21 seems like, while 125 is a little bit more juicy, like it's not a lotto joint to put in your parlay, I think he has another game. And I just honestly think the Jazz struggle on D. Like whenever I have them like giving 5 to 6 points, it's always coming down to the line. So I'm definitely on that. And then the only other one I was looking at that I might just absolutely lotto was I think I'm gonna take I don't know about that. I think I think I might hit Rockets money line just because they've absolutely put one slapped me in the face for teams that are supposed to clap them by like 13. So whether I'm going to take like 7.5, getting 7.5, I kind of like the money line because 245, like it should be way bigger than that for a line that's almost 10. So that's maybe my lotto. All depending on who's playing too. So I gotta definitely tap in on that. And then the only other one, I think the Blazers plus 155 against the Wizards is a great look.
I'll be talking about that game here in a second for a prop there, but
let's go, baby.
I love that DeJounte look. We actually were just talking about the Jazz game before you popped on here. And that game should be fun. That game should be really fun. Obviously, 500 team in the Hawks right now. They haven't really been doing too much. And we do really like that Kelly Olynyk transfer. I really like that you talked about that because Walker Kessler's a beast, dude. That dude is swiping shots left and right. This man is actually a very, very, very good rim protector. Yeah. You bring Kelly Olynyk, who is probably one of the worst defensive centers in the NBA, but he can snipe, right? He can shoot, and that's really what they want him in there for. Obviously, being able to spread the floor with two bigs in Markkanen and Olynyk is something that a lot of teams can't guard, but that is a huge step down in defensive competition there. We love backing points in the paint against the Jazz, and you talked about DeJounte not doing much from the three-point line. Definitely huge for a spot like this where the Jazz don't guard the three-point ball terribly, but they're one of the worst.
No, they don't.
So I do.
The stat is insane. They're incredibly bad against pick and rolls. Like with Olynyk coming into that man's can't pivot shit, bro. like if he gets screened or picked, like he's not rolling out. Like there's gonna be a lot. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of like mid range shots, a lot of points in the paint, and it's like if you're not guarding that. And then you focus on that, say, second quarter or halftime, then you open up the three ball, and it's just going to rain on them.
I know Stu's going to be talking about this game here in a second. I'll get my last little bit of info out here to kind of back this one as well before we get to another bet in that Atlanta game that Stu has for us. But we look at the Utah Jazz, right? They have allowed the fourth fewest three-point made shots so far this season, but their field goals made are fifth most. So that means all these people are just going in the paint and scoring on these dudes, just dropping buckets. Fifth worst field goal percentage allowed as well. So they're not taking that many threes, and they're shooting that well, and you're giving up top 10 amount of points. They got to come from somewhere, and that's going to be in the paint in that mid-range game. I really like the spot. Sammy, I think that you got a winner here. And Stu's going to be talking about this game with you here as he's back in the big boy down there.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah. Love this. I love this.
I was gonna say you just talked me into DeJounte. Maybe we got to run a little same game parlay right here. But
ooh, let's lab it, baby. Let's go.
I'm going to the big boy right here. You guys talked about Walker Kessler on the other side. Who I like Walker Kessler, man. Guy from Auburn, 12 blocks in his last 2 games. I don't know if you saw that. Absolutely crazy. So he's earned himself a little bit more of a role. But we're going to see Olynyk start again, and we're going to see Markkanen. And that is an absolute mismatch for a guy like Clint Capella down in the paint. We saw these two teams square off once earlier in the season, and guess what? Capella had 19 rebounds in that game. So when you look at it in the month of January...
19?
Yes, 19 rebounds. And I mean, the crazy thing too is he only even had like 11 points, which I mean, that's Capella for you though. That's why we're just
exactly.
Yeah. So when you want to look at this matchup, right, averaging only 10 over the last month, but there's been a key thing. You just come back from injury, right? So he was only playing 20 minutes, 20 minutes. Now we've seen over his last 5 games, he's back to playing 25 to 30 minutes in these games. He's playing real minutes. He's the guy there. Okongwu, they gave him a chance. He's a young center. He's got some potential, but to be completely honest, he didn't impress me that much. They're even playing Frank Kaminsky a couple minutes a game now because of it at that power forward. Yeah, congrats.
That's Bucky, baby. That's Bucky. That's a
Badgers,
baby.
Badgers.
So I mean, if he gets Frank Kaminsky minutes, listen, I'll be absolutely joyed. Okay, so overall, Capella's got a great matchup right here. 19 earlier this season. I don't think anyone in there can run with him, especially Olynyk. He's got like a 4-inch, 5-inch size advantage on him right there. And then when they do have Walker Kessler in the game, that's going to pull him right to the center, right? That's the guy that stands right under the rim. He's not spreading the floor. So I think overall, Capella's just in a great spot right here. And this is one of those spots, like I said, 19 earlier, I think I'm probably going to have to sprinkle that like 15 rebounds mark at like, plus 400, plus 500, because Capella's one of those guys over the last couple seasons, especially if you're a DFS guy out there, this guy can absolutely stuff those rebounds. So check out Clint Capella tonight.
Yeah, he's a beast. Like, I mean, it's wild to like even hear 19 rebounds because like that line was probably like 11 and a half, like, or under. Like, who knows? But like it's crazy because like he has that sense, like whether it's in the paint or mid-range, he just has that reach. He can get in your face. He can also absolutely swat the shit out of anything that's coming in his house. So I love that play. I'm definitely tailing that.
Yeah, and he's getting decent minutes now. I didn't think I was not expecting him to get that full run right when he got back. They threw him into the fire, and he's obviously doing well enough to continue to get that run. Ryan put together a little same-game parlay for you guys to kind of get that rolling for you. DeJounte, 20 points. Capella, 10 boards at plus 120. Hey, that's good odds. Obviously a great spot. And 10 rebounds just seems like a cakewalk. That seems like a first 15 minutes for Capella at this point.
Yeah, that might be a first quarter. Have a good one, Cash.
Got Turbo. Welcome, my man. Welcome. I know we moved up the time a little bit here. So I'm happy all you guys are popping in here. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. We'll get to them here in a second. But I got my last play here. And I'm sorry, Stu. I got to go back to my boy here. I'm going back to Dame Dollar. I got to go.
Game time, baby. What time?
Hey, did you see the thumbnail for the video? I don't know if it uploaded. I'm going to have to redo it. It's a picture of Dame Dollar and then a pic, like one of the old ass album covers of yours. That's like old. Like it's like you're like a 14, bro. You're like a 14-year-old next to Dame Dollar on the screen there. So I got to make sure that gets up there because I saw it didn't pop up there. But that's besides the point. But Dame, I mean, is there somebody who's hotter than Dame Lillard right now in the NBA? I don't think there is. Nobody is talking about it either because who's staying up till 9 p.m. to watch the start of that game? That's when the tip-off is like 90% of these games. So nobody is tuning in. Sammy, I think over on your side, and over by you and Stu, it's like 10 p.m. tip for when they start going up for that. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. But Dame has been unbelievable, and I love that Yusuf Nurkic is going to be out again today because what we saw last game when Yusuf Nurkic went out early was Anthony Simons or it was Lillard because Jeremy Grant ended up having to go into concussion protocol. But he dropped 42 and 10 in that game. Obviously, he's a 90% free throw shooter, 15 for 16 from the line. That's against Memphis. Now you're facing off against the Wizards, and I know Stu, obviously a diehard Wizard fan, but he's like me, where you have expectations in some respect, right? You have some expectations, right? I'll tell you first thing that the Packers weren't going to be good this year, right? I said that. I know that. I knew that. But Stu,
neither were the Patriots. So Jesus Christ.
And these guys cannot guard half competent guards, right? They just can't do it,
right?
Even when you look at, Keldon Johnson isn't a guard, but Keldon Johnson popped off against these dudes in their last matchup. We go down the list. They allowed 32 points to Jalen Brunson last week.
Yep.
Jalen Green ended up with 8 assists. When does Jalen Green have assists, by the way? He had 8 assists on these dudes, 19 points in there. We also go down even further. Levine had 38 out of the 100 points against them. Anybody who can shoot on these dudes is just carving them. And who has more volume? Maybe Luka at the guard position in terms of three-point equity, assist props, all of that stuff. Lillard, I get this. This number is super high and it's scary, but why wouldn't you go there? If you're going to look at his past games, it's warranted to be there. He's got a 60-point game in that stretch. He's had, like I said, 42 in back-to-back games. Him and DeJounte were going back and forth in that matchup against the Hawks. You end up going down even last week. He put up 37 on the Spurs in 30 minutes, right? This dude is absolutely in fuego, 40 points across the board. You can go down the list. You're going to see it like 8 or 9 times. He's got 40-point games. He has 8 40-point games this year. This dude is on another planet, and when he's hot, this is when the time you got to buy in. I know it's scary to buy high, but we talk about it in terms of streaky shooters. Is there a more streaky shooter than maybe Buddy Hield, right? But this is
Oh, wow.
a little better.
Wow.
This is a little better. Obviously, we're looking at the volume. 21 shot attempts over his last 10 games. Just looking at those box scores. 13 potential assists in his last 10 games as well. I can't get away from Dame Lillard tonight. I'll probably be on his threes laddered up. I'll be on his points assists here. I can't get away from Dame. I think your Wizards got a tough matchup here, especially without Nurkic taking all that usage up down low.
Well, dude, also like so like my entire fam, like my brother went to U of O, so like all the PDX boys love the Blazers, and like it's an interesting line because I've seen it move. I think it was plus 2.5. Blazers getting 2.5. Now it's plus 4. I'm tempted to take money line plus 150, and potentially parlay it with another game. There's not many times where there's two really shitty teams playing each other, or B, like a team, like I'm torn with the Celtics -9. I love the C's. It's a lot of points to give up if the Suns show up, but it's like lines like that. Portland money line 100 plus 150, like that is a great lotto piece for me. I'm definitely going to be throwing that in. And like you said, Dame is just shooting the lights out. The thing I love about Dame is that he doesn't let dumb shit and reporters and tweets like get in his head. When he shows up, he shows up. And like we've seen in the last few years, when this dude heats up, he doesn't cool down. Like this dude just goes in, whether it's assists, whether it's points. Like this dude be grabbing rebounds and it's like, damn, this dude's really not that tall to be grabbing that. So I love that play. I'm definitely going to sprinkle probably Blazers money line with some other joints, but I think Dame has an absolute light show tonight.
Yeah, no, and I mean, you guys know I'm a diehard Wizards fan. Obviously, I unfortunately watch a lot of these games, and I'll tell you, I mean, I bet on Steph Curry like a week and a half ago on the show against us for the same reason. Like you said, we cannot stop a star player to save our life. It's not even guards. And really what it is it's because our coach refuses to play double coverage. We play full-on single coverage versus no matter who we play. So a team like the Raptors, right, it's real hard to get your star player to go off versus the Raptors because they'll just double immediately. They just send all those double teams. The Wizards, we refuse to do that. We think, we trust our guys. And listen, I trust our guys too, but I don't trust any of them to stick with Dame Lillard. So I agree. Just for the same reason I was on Curry and the same reason I was on Luka versus Washington, Dame is going to shoot the ball 20 times. He's going to take at least 10 threes, and really nobody on the Wizards can stick with them. And honestly, the money line too, I'm very surprised. I don't think the Wizards should be really favored by that much by anybody in the league. So to get plus 155 for the Blazers,
that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say, the only thing that kind of scares me for the money line perspective is Jeremy Grant if he's going to be out. Obviously, I know Yusuf Nurkic is out, which when else have we seen Dame Lillard's point total at 35.5, right? I watched that second half of the game because I had a lotto on Drew Eubanks in that game because I personally thought Yusuf Nurkic was going to foul out when they played in their last game against Jaren Jackson and all those guys, but he ended up getting hurt in the first 3 minutes, so ended up coming through and stuff like that. But you go through their box score of like the second half of that game, Anthony Simons shot, Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons 3, Damian Lillard 4-1. All those are the only two guys shooting. They're the only two guys who even look at the basket, right? When obviously we got Josh Hart, we got these other guys, but those are peripheral pieces to those two. And every second they're on the floor, they are getting full usage. We're seeing 32% usage for Dame without Yusuf Nurkic on the floor so far this year. I would not blame you on that money line for Dame here. I could see him playing 42 minutes in this one with how low they are with all their starters here. So I can't
that one just like sticks out to me because it's like giving a team that has an absolute scorcher like right now 4.5 points is crazy. It's like there's certain things with players that rev them up, and like I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and I know that Edwards got snubbed, like got clipped from the All-Star game, so he's gonna want to prove a point tonight. But like like one thing for me is if there's too many people on Twitter, there's too many articles about why it's going to happen. It's a fucking ultimate fade for me. Like like that. Vegas just doesn't want that many people to be right. So it's like, regardless of him wanting to prove himself, at the same time, like you mentioned earlier, PPS, like he either shows up or he doesn't. And if he gets in foul trouble early, like there goes your PRA in general. So definitely sticking with those picks, but I really do like the dark horse, which shouldn't be that much of a dark horse, but plus 155 for the Blazers is kind of wild.
Yeah, we're getting this plus 425 from Ryan here. Yeah. This is the Portland money line, Dame 40 points, plus 425. Hey, I bet on worse things than that, at worse odds than that. That's a nice spot.
Facts.
And if you just want to hear one more support for that, because, hey, I'm in tap with the Wizards fans, and if you want to go to the craziest place on earth, I'm telling you, it's Reddit. You want to go into these fan forums, there are people that legitimately think that the league, we're on a 6-game win streak, right? Which doesn't matter at all, by the way, but we are very proud of it as fans. These people legitimately think our game against the Pistons was canceled because the league is rigged against us. They want us to stop our win streak. So they canceled the game against the Pistons because of, auto failure or whatever. So the craziest people in the world believe that we're getting games rigged against us. So I just wanted you to know that you got them on your side as well tonight.
Well, that's probably the funniest thing of all time is like, whether it's group chats, whether it's just tweets in the timeline, the amount of it's rigged. It's like, it's going your way 4 minutes into the third quarter, but now it's rigged. So it's like, it's like, woe is me when it comes to betting. It's like, come on, bro. Like, no one wants to hear you in the comments, like talking shit about refs. No one wants VAR in NBA. Let's be honest.
Fuck VAR, bro. Fuck VAR. God damn, I hate VAR. Don't even get
so bad.
One other thing I want to talk about too, just quick, is besides getting 40 balled by Luka last week or whatever it was 2 weeks ago, dude, I looked at their log when I was going through this play. Markelle Fultz put up 24 and 8 on you guys. Christ,
damn!
What is this? And they got like 4 guys who play the exact same role as him, and he drops 24 and 8. I'm like, what? Doesn't even make any sense. I haven't seen that type of number from Markelle Fultz since he was getting bullied out of Philadelphia, bro.
Yeah, seriously, that was like I think it was like a year and a half where he was like shooting with the other hand, and it was like at that point, you might as well be chalking up like a shot with chopsticks. Like that's insane. But it's like, it's an interesting, like, and that's why I love the NBA, because like, obviously, Vegas knows more than we do. The books know more than we do sometimes, but there's so many value plays for the NBA where you could just be square and, do a minus 400, minus 250, minus 500 parlay to, 100, maybe for 120, 150. But there's so much more value on teams getting points, because when it really comes down to it, it's like in those 2 minutes where it's garbage time if a team's up 20, 30 points. But if it's like 8 points, it's a toss-up. And if you have 6.5, it's like, dude, it just depends. If they foul with 0.03 seconds left, there it goes.
And two, you mentioned even a team like the Rockets. Why would they don't pull their starters? Their starters are all 20 years old. So
yeah,
a team like the Celtics, they put in the guys you've never heard of that you thought were playing in the Euro League to play the last 5 minutes. And Houston's got their starters out there balling out on them. So it just makes it that much easier to cover those spreads when you have these young teams that just leave all their guys out there and say, fuck it, get your shots up. We don't care.
Right.
All right, let's get our recap in here.
Yes, sir.
We'll end up doing a long shot. I think Sammy's long shot was the Rockets money line. That is, you're a bold man, my friend. But hey, that's where we reap the benefits on these big long shots like that. So
let's go.
Let's recap. I'll kick it to you, Stu, and then we'll go to Sammy's.
They're probably gonna get clapped by like fucking 30. So tread lightly, amigos.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, hey, like PPS said, we've spent money on way worse. I mean, I bet on like the Oscars. We bet on like NASCAR. We bet on golf first round. Like, this is a
Turkish
real
soccer, bro. Bet on that Turkish soccer league, bro. Super League, all that shit, bro.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of love NASCAR.
I can't hate. Man. I was into it when I was a kid. Okay, I need to get back in the betting scene because there's like 3 guys that bet on that sport and like no one else. But maybe that'll be you, Sammy. Maybe that's the next career pivot right here. Just going all in on NASCAR.
Yo, dude, that'd be wild. Like, do a little auto-tuned national anthem. Like, you know what I mean? Let's fucking go.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they love that in the deep South. I'm sure that's what they want is auto-tune.
I'm already making friends in Mississippi. We got Picayune in the chat, so we're Gucci, bro.
There you go. All right, back to the recap, though. I'm going Clint Capella over 11.5 rebounds tonight, and I'm going with Tyrese Halliburton in a revenge game against his former team over 20.5 points.
All right, Sammy, your 2 for today.
So my 2, I'm taking my man's Murray PRA over 21. I think it's minus 120. I got it minus 120. I think it's minus 125 now on DK. And then Hornets team total, I think it was halftime, 61.5. And this just stems from the fact that while the Hornets haven't been playing fantastic, the D they're going up against with the Pistons is just absolutely diabolical. So I think they get that done. I'm looking at team total like in the total game over 118.5. But like I said, if it starts to turn into a beatdown, I'd rather have that happen first half. So I'm going to put my money there.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I will be taking D'Angelo Russell points assists over 25.5 at minus 105. And it's Dame time, baby. Over 42.5 points plus assists, minus 125 on FanDuel.
It's about that time. Let's go, baby.
And you know what time it is. Terrence is in here. Terrence loves those long shots. Let's throw one together here. Let's throw together a group collaboration here on this long shot.
Let's go.
Which one of those plus money dogs you want to throw in it, Sammy? You got the Blazers you were talking about. You got Toronto you were talking about.
I'm going Blazers.
Okay, so Blazers money line first leg. Stu, what is yours?
All right, I got a shit ton of options. I want to hear your guys' opinions real quick because Sam mentioned the All-Star snubs a little bit earlier. A lot of people are talking about certain things. The ones I haven't seen as much talk about, my guy James Harden. He's out here posting on his Instagram about the snub and stuff like that.
He said the disrespect.
Which, I mean, listen, James Harden, I don't know if I would have voted him an All-Star either. But, hey, if he's angry, if he's coming out hot tonight, do you think I go triple-double? Do you think I go, like, 30 points?
Oh, wow.
Which way do you think we go, right? Because he's already averaging a double-double on the season. The assist and points are pretty much there automatically. So do we go, a spike, rebound game, get a nice triple-double in, 30 points? What are we thinking?
I mean, to be honest, like, I got to hit – if this game's in Philly or no, it's in San Antonio. So I got to see what type of women are pulling up to this game. Cause if there's a bunch of strippers on the floor, that boy's going to hit, a triple double by halftime. Cause we all know what he does in his off time. But I think it's just like, it's one of those things where if you get snipped and you don't make the cut for an All-Star game, it's a great place to be like, bruh, y'all fucked up. So I like that. I'm not sure what's his 3 line. Let's see.
He's got minus 118 for 2.5. So if you went up to 4, that's plus 230, and 5 is plus 550.
Ooh, I kind of like 4. I'm writing that down right now.
Because it's, for me, I think tonight, because normally we just do one long shot on here. Today, I think I'm probably sprinkling like 4 or 5 guys total. I think Harden, my guy Kuzma was tweeting about it earlier. He put the little, the little stopwatch time will tell this morning. He was a little bad. So just all those guys. But if we're just doing an official parlay right here for the show, how about I throw in the Clint Capella 14 rebounds, and we keep all the other stuff for later.
Love that.
Oh gosh. Okay, guys. I got to see how long is this long shot right now, Stu? Do I want to make it crazy, or do I want to get a little dub here? It's the thing, because I got a plus 1,000 and then I got a plus 485. So
speak to me, boy. Let's go.
Stu, what's our long shot at right now?
I mean, the Blazers money line is down right now, so I can't add that.
Yeah, it's because they just brought in Jeremy Grant just got ruled in.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, I'll be able to tell you when the FanDuel lines allow me to place that bet.
All right, let me see if I can pull it up here. I have the line right now on DraftKings at plus 145.
Yep.
Let's
Same.
pull up. Let's take a pop over on Capella. I've been hyping Dame too much. I was gonna do Dame 45 points, but it's only plus 485. We're not going there. What we're doing is I'm taking D'Angelo Russell double at plus 1,000.
Let's go.
That is plus 1,000 here on DraftKings. I can't get away from this number, dude. This is ridiculous for a guy. If we're not going to have any Gobert, obviously we saw what happened. They tried to double team over on Edwards last game. If we don't get those doubles, I think we're just going to see D'Angelo Russell do his thing, drive into the paint, kick it out, hit those threes. I just talked about how terrible. I talked about how terrible Orlando is against guarding the three. And Russell's one of the top 20 guys in terms of drives, right? We're going to see him drive into the paint, hopefully kick it out. Hopefully Edwards is that guy in the corner hitting those threes. You also have, I hope Gobert kind of is out, because Naz Reid is an absolute savage, bro. That guy is so fucking good when he gets to play. But we've seen him have pop-off assist games here. I believe he's only had he had a run where there was like 4 or 5 in a 10-game stretch where he got double-doubles. But we've also seen him have kind of pop-off rebound games. We've had him get 8 rebounds. We have him get 7 rebounds. And then there's obviously the upside of the assists, where I think it probably is his best chances, obviously getting it there. But if you have no Gobert, that's a lot more long rebounds chances that we could possibly have in this game. I can't get away. You're going to give me a plus 1,000 on that. I'm not. I gotta take it.
Yeah, I feel you. And even if he is in, he's going to have limited minutes anyways. In terms of Rudy, so I think it's not the pivotal Rudy Gobert that you usually see when he's 100% healthy. I don't think he's going to scratch and not play, but I think he will be limited in terms of minutes. So that just opens the upside for dudes to go off.
Damn, Sammy. I hope you got that line in before this Jeremy Grant news. It's down to plus 135 now.
I got it at 165.
Nice, dude. That's huge. That's huge. We got obviously lines moving towards us in the right way. Stu, any luck? Can we get anything there for how long the long shot is here? Portland is back up. Holy shit. That's a big boy number there.
Okay.
Oh, that's a big boy. Let's go, boys. That's house money. Let's go.
Hey, well, don't throw too much on it, or else then you're gonna quit rapping. We want another album, bro. We don't want you to just make too much where you have to fucking quit your job, bro. So we want another album. Only throw like $5 on that shit.
Copy that, bro.
Oh shit. We're at, I don't know. Hey, Ryan, if you could post what book that's on. Looks like Sammy's only betting $4 on it if it's at that price. So
yeah, plus 7,308 is wild. I mean,
that's just Lotto as Lotto gets right there. That's just Lotto as Lotto gets.
He said bet 365.
Damn, that is a big boy number. Dude, and guess what? I said it before. I bet on worse things at worse odds. This definitely could come through for sure. I almost want to, man, I'm going to probably end up taking Dame 45 anyway, just to throw it on, throw some fuel on the fire there.
I think I might tell you on that one.
Those are some big boy numbers, but hey, we love it. We love it. We're actually right on time, right at that hour point. I don't see any other questions here in the chat. Actually, we got a couple here. Let's I'll kick it over to you, Stu. I don't think in my life I could bet on Sadiq Bey and feel comfortable about it.
Right.
Dude, you're betting him purely on volume. It can't be on anything else. It ain't on skill set. It ain't on anything else but pure volume and the total in the game.
He's had a couple standout games, but it's just not like there's just the consistency just isn't there in my opinion. And it's like it's similar to players that just go off one game and then the line for them the next game goes crazy.
Exactly.
It's like if you're on, you're on, but like I don't know. I think I agree, bro, that I probably would stay away from that one.
Yeah, I think the only bonus is just there's no defense in that game. I mean, at all.
Right. Yeah, good point.
But that's a high number.
You got old ass Gordon Hayward probably guarding his ass.
Yeah, old porcelain ankles.
All right, and we got one more. I definitely like this spot. Obviously, I didn't expect Scotty to score that much in that last game.
Yeah.
I know Alan brought up the PRA. Obviously, he grabbed a lot of rebounds. I'm more of Siakam on this game over anything. Obviously, I think that line is a little bit inflated from obviously the last game where he went absolutely berserk. But I think if I'm going to bet anything in that game, it's probably Siakam. I still think the over 29.5 is a good look, though.
And Siakam's also, that's kind of, James Harden-ish, if you will, because it's definitely a spot where he wants to prove himself and be like, yo, bro, y'all fucked up and not having me in the All-Star game. So I would definitely look more towards Siakam as well. And just I think he has a better game. I think betting on Scotty while he's been solid, it's just a little too risky for me.
Yeah, and one more thing, you mentioned it. What I was about to say, actually, last year Siakam got snubbed from the All-Star game too, and guess what?
Yep.
He came out and dropped a 30-piece in his first game out. So
Facts.
I think we could very easily see that same kind of thing. And then the Rockets, man, they're the worst paint defense in the league. I mean, I love Baby Jokic over there. Okay, Sengun's my guy. He's been cashing checks.
He's the man too. Yeah.
Yeah, but defense, it's not quite his thing yet. He'll get better.
No.
He'll grow up, but not his thing.
Beautiful. I think that's all the questions we got throughout the chat. We got through every one of your guys' spots. Let's get our send-off here. Sammy, obviously, we usually have to go through and say, hey, go find his socials here. I think they probably already know where your socials are at, but if you want to hype it out or give us maybe some insight on some future projects or the last album and stuff, because obviously I know I'm in a few chats with you and for like soccer stuff too. So
yeah.
I've listened to the new stuff. I'm on Drip. I'm on all that other shit, dude.
Let's go.
So where can they find your stuff there for sure?
Just Sammy Adams, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Spotify, just Sammy Adams, same with Apple Music. New project coming probably around March, April, May, trying to rack up that spring break college bread, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, we got hella joints on the way. As you can tell, I'm in studio right now, so we about to cook the fuck up.
Love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's making our backgrounds look pretty bushy out here, okay? But it looks like the lone Commander's flag isn't going to cut it today, but that's okay. I mean, yeah, we appreciate having you on. There are a lot of people, we invite on here, and there's some great guests, and then there's some I don't know what's the right word. You're a person.
I'll let you take where I don't know what you're trying to say here. I'm gonna let you take it.
I was gonna say some, I don't know, we've got some machines. There are people that look at the data, they absorb the data, and they tell. We like hanging out, so we appreciate having you on. Obviously, Boston. One last thing before you hop off: who's winning in a best of 7? Is it Milwaukee or the Bucks? Who's taking home the East? I need to hear.
Boston, you mean? Milwaukee or the Bucks? I'll take both.
Yeah, Boston.
Milwaukee or the Bucks? That's a fucking minus $2 million bucks. But I like the C's. I think that probably goes to Game 7. The C's, like I said, the locker room is intact. Dudes are just clicking, and I feel like that type of playoff basketball, they use those pivotal moments at home to win necessary games. So if you go on the road, you have the opportunity to take an L or take 2 L's, come back, and get back in front. So I'm obviously taking C's between C's and Bucks. Obviously, a little too early to think about that because we don't know. It's like, Rob can't stay healthy. So it's like if we have all our guys, I feel great about it. But I think it's going to be a battle. And like that's the great part about, the playoffs is that people it's not just another game for dudes to pad stat sheets or try to win games. Obviously, people are trying to win games every time they play. But I think the C's are a solid squad. I think they have that just synergy in the locker room, on the court. So give me C's all day.
Yeah, no, and I 100% agree with what you're saying with terms of injuries and stuff because the Bucks haven't been healthy at all. So
right,
I mean, for them to have all three guys, I think they've only lost one game when all three of them are healthy. And Middleton ain't even going over 25 minutes in these. So what I personally hope is that it's C's and Bucks at the 1 and 2 line, so I don't have to see that game until the Eastern Conference Finals. Because then
I agree.
Then I'm worried
that'd be a fire. That'd be a fire conference finals.
Yeah,
too.
and I'm worried that one of them would lose in the game after that because that's going to go all the way out. It's going to be physical as hell, and we don't want to have just that other side just kind of go through. So I would rather have that where the Bucks kind of push a little bit here in the regular season to get that 2 seed. So, but hey, we'll have you on when it gets closer to that time. We can get probably with a little more information there. So
let's go, baby.
We appreciate you, Sammy. Thank you again for joining us. We'll definitely try to get you back on here, whether it be at the end of the NBA season or even maybe some Super Bowl talk here in the next week or so if we want to get you back on here and get to what you want to talk about with that Phillies-Chiefs game. But thank you so
Absolutely.
much. We appreciate it.
No worries. Hit me anytime. Y'all both got my line. Appreciate you guys having me on. Have an awesome day, boys.
Thank you guys for tuning in to Pass It Proud Friday. We got our 6 NBA spots out. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you on Monday for another NBA show.